Hey guys, welcome back to Bibliophile Reads. I'm Courtney, and today you're joining me for the most anticipated books of 2025. Next year is going to be a huge year for releases. This year was big as well. Lots of auto-buy authors of mine put out books, and I'm excited to see more that come out in 2025. I also have altered some of my tastes over this past year, and am loving thrillers and loving some realistic fiction. But of course, I have my auto-buy authors that are so important to me to buy. And so I want to go over a list of some books that are coming out. Feel free to jot these down for when they do come out. So let's get started. First, you'll see that I am looking down at my notes because I don't have all these memorized, but check out the covers over here. The first book is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I am a huge Emily Henry fan. She always has that April release date. And I just love that. So this book follows two writers who are competing for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve. It's a dazzling and sweeping new novel from Emily Henry. This is all from Goodreads. And so this kind of reminds me of Book Lovers, but they are more of in a competition. Obviously, it's going to be romance. They're going to fall for each other, and I just love that plot. The next book is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. And in this book, it says, there might be no such thing as a perfect guy, but Xavier Rush comes disastrously close, a gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a tiny kitten. Immediately, yes. That is until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing. Like, really wrong. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an a-hole wrong. I think this sounds mid, but I am an auto-buy author of Abby Jimenez. What I don't love about this description is the idea that, like, you look nice on the outside, but, like, you're possibly douche on the inside. Like, your personality's not great. I don't know. So that one's coming out. We'll see. Next up is It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monahan. I kind of got into her this past year reading Nora Off Script. And this story follows a former TV star. She was a teen TV star, and now she's an executive at a TV company, and she's waiting for her big break, and she's waiting for one of her shows to be greenlit. And she works with an enemy, basically a male enemy. And she has told the company that this famous pop star that she used to date can create a song for her new show. And so that's how they're going to try to get the show greenlit. And so then she's on this hunt to find this guy and make him write a pop song for the show. Next up, I have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Now, I am putting this on here. However, I really think I'm done with Ashley Poston. I did not enjoy her books, the past two that I've read, 7 Year Slip and A Novel Story. They were just okay. I think her magical realism style has holes in it that I can't track. And so I might not read it, but I want to share what she has for those that are fans. So this is another magical realism book. And this is when a woman goes back to her hometown. She's a songwriter. She has no songs in her. She goes back to her hometown and a song magically starts coming to her. And so she is maybe in an alternate universe, or she's hearing this voice singing to her to collab and create this song. Next up, we have a book by Catherine Sinter. It's called The Love Haters. This book says Katie Vaughn has been burned by love in the past. Now she may be lighting her career on fire. She has two choices: wait to get laid off from her job as a video producer, or at her coworker Cole's request, take a career-making gig profiling Tom Hutchinson, a Coast Guard rescue swimmer in Key West. The catch? Katie's not exactly qualified. She can't swim, but fakes that she can. Plus, Cole is Hutch's brother, and they don't get along. Next stop, Paradise. But Paradise is messier than it seems. As Katie gets entangled with Hutch, the most scientifically good-looking man she's ever seen, but also a bit of a love hater, along with his colorful Aunt Rue and his rescue Great Dane, she gets trapped in a lie or two. Swim lessons, helicopter flights, conga lines, drinking contests, hurricanes, and stolen kisses ensue, along with chances to tell the truth, to face old fears, and to be truly brave at last. Oh, I love this. That really sounds good to me. I think what stands out is sort of her going down to a paradise location and trying to find out like about this guy's life, and she probably is adding things to her own life and experiences that she hasn't had. I didn't love Catherine Sinter's rom-commers last year or in 2024. This one sounds great. Next up, I have Onyx Storm, which is the third book in the Fourth Wing sort of world. I didn't write down much about the synopsis because I don't want to be spoiled. We know that this book happens 18 months later. We know the battle's still going on, and that's all I want to know. I know not a lot of people liked Iron Flame. I also rated it lower than I did Fourth Wing, but I really do like the series, so I'm excited for Onyx Storm. Next up is Deep End by Allie Hazelwood. And this book follows two college-age swim students who, I guess one's a diver, I want to say, and then the male maybe is just like experienced in swimming. They start working together on school things and then they fall in love. I think that's kind of what I got from the synopsis. That sounds great. I mean, Allie Hazelwood comes out with the same sort of things each year. Not mad at it. I will read it. Next up is Beg, Borrow, and Steal by Sarah Adams. I don't think we got a book from her this year. I'm trying to think. I know a lot of her books got republished, but excited about this. So this one is about two feuding second grade teachers and neighbors find themselves teaming up in this rivals to lovers romance. And I love that idea of them being second grade teachers who are kind of rivals. I don't know what they're teaming up for yet because I just copied down the short synopsis, but it sounds really cute. And Beg, Borrow, and Steal, I'm not sure if this one's gonna be closed door. I know that she kind of got slammed for having an open door romance in Practice Makes Perfect, I want to say, but we'll see. The next book that I am highly anticipating is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This is the next book in the Rebel Blue series, and this is book 4. I told you guys before, I'm not a cowboy romance girl, but like this series has got me hooked, so I'm so excited. This book is going to follow Cam and Dusty. Cam is the ex-wife of, or is the baby mother from the last book in, was it Lost and Lassoed? And she, in that book, we found that she was like stood up at the altar, and she has come back to the Rebel Blue farm area, and the ex-groom who ran off Dusty and her start reconnecting. So it's sort of like a second chance romance, but I imagine they have a ton to unpack if he ran off on the wedding day. Next up is The Perfect Divorce. This book is by Geneva Rose. I've read a couple of her books this past year and I really liked them. I did not read The Perfect Marriage, so I hope I don't have to read that to read this one. But it says, it's been 11 years since high-powered attorney Sarah Morgan defended her husband Adam against the charge of murdering his mistress. Sarah has long since moved on, starting a family with her new husband Bob Miller and changing careers. Her life is back to being exactly how she always wanted. Or is it? After discovering Bob engaged in a one-night stand, Sarah wastes no time filing for divorce. However, amid their ugly separation, new DNA evidence is uncovered in the case against Adam, forcing the police to reopen the investigation and putting Sarah right back in the spotlight. Everyone wants to know what really happened, most of all former Deputy Hudson, who was hell-bent on finding the truth. But when the woman Bob slept with is reported missing, he and Sarah start to fight dirty, and a high-stakes game of cat and mouse ensues. Ooh, that sounds really good. I copied and pasted the synopsis. I didn't fully read it, but I'm here for it. So that sounds really good. Next up, I have One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I know people have mixed feelings about Carly Fortune. And I feel like a lot of people read the book last year and were like, okay, this is, or in 2024, like this is her last chance. I really like her. I've liked all of her books. And so this one says, good things happen at the lake. That's what Alice's grandmother says, and it's true. Alice spent just one summer at a cottage with Nan when she was 17. It's where she took that photo, the one of 3 grinning teenagers in a yellow speedboat, the image that changed her life. Now Alice lives behind a lens. As a photographer, she's most comfortable on the sidelines, letting other people shine. Lately, though, she's been itching for something more, and when Nan falls and breaks her hip, Alice comes up with a plan for them both. Another summer in that magical place, Barry's Bay. But as soon as they settle in, their peace is disrupted by the roar of a familiar yellow boat and the man driving it. Charlie Florek was 19 when Alice took his photo from afar. Now he's all grown up, a shameless flirt who manages to make Nan laugh and Alice long to be 17 again. When life was simpler, when taking pictures was just for fun, sun-slanted days and warm nights out on the lake with Charlie are a balm for Alice's soul. But when she looks up and sees his piercing green gaze directly on her, she begins to worry for her heart. Because Alice sees people, that's why she's so good at what she does, but she's never met someone who looks and sees her right back. Oh, that sounds so good. Really detailed synopsis, good read. So like now we know a lot about the book, but that sounds really good. Next up I have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I started picking up I picked up one of her books last year. It's Out on a Limb and Out of the Woods is in the same universe. This one sounds really cute. This one follows Caleb and Sarah. They are high school sweethearts, and after 10 years of dating, they have a fallout that kind of starts uncovering all of the drama that they've been holding for 10 years. And so they are trying to address this mountain of issues. So they decide to go on like a couples hiking retreat, and there we are, Out of the Woods. So looking forward to that. Next up, we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is book 3 in the Powerless trilogy. I again did not write a synopsis for this because I don't want to be spoiled with anything. I know not a lot of people liked the second book, but I again thought it was great. I'm like eating up these little popcorn teen like fantasies, so I'm excited for that. And then I have 2 more books I'm really excited about reading. Next up is Promise Me Sunshine by Kara Bastone. I was introduced to Kara Bastone on an audiobook a few years ago, and then last year, in 2024, she wrote Ready or Not. This year is Promise Me Sunshine, and it says, grieving the loss of her best friend, a young woman's life is turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can help her live again. In this heartwarming slow burn romance by the author of Ready or Not. I love the idea of a grumpy stranger kind of helping her grieve and get out of her sadness and live life again. I don't love a slow burn, so we'll see how that goes. And then the last book I have that I want to read, and I'm sure there's so many more, so be sure to comment down below which books you're looking forward to in 2025. This book is Enchantra, and this is the second book in the Phantasma series. I didn't know it was going to be a series, but I am excited. And again, this is like a game sort of fantasy romance scenario. And this one says, Ready or Not meets Throne of the Fallen in a spicy enemies to lovers fantasy romance where an Italian getaway turns deadly after a young woman is trapped in her host family's cursed game. Oh, so it's a totally different situation. Okay, that's pretty cool. I thought it was going to be just like a continuation or something else happening in Phantasma, but this sounds like a little bit different. So excited about that as well. So as you can see, we have a plethora of books to read in 2025. So many that I didn't even list. I guess I could make this video like over an hour, but I saved you guys from that and just highlighted to the ones that I want to read. So again, tell me what you want to read down below. What are you anticipating? What genre styles are you picking up? Did you pick up something new this year? I'd love to hear all about it. As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.